Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. Monday Night Football action, Denver at Cincinnati. Finally, a Monday Night Football game that we can go out. You know, we always have Brian and our good buddy Chris. We always go out Monday Night Football here in town, and we've had some stink bombs the last few weeks for Monday Night Football games, but we finally got a good one here, or at least on paper.
On paper.
On paper. The last ones weren't on paper, on TV, on anything. They weren't
They
good.
were on toilet paper.
Yeah. Denver, you know, still trying for home field advantage. Cincinnati just trying to win the division. Love them or hate them, the Bengals, they control their own destiny, and it's all because of that push, the tie, the overtime game against Carolina that me and you both had a lot of teasers tied up in.
Well, all they had to do was win by
one. All they had to win. They had
just
to
kick
win.
the field goal at the end of the game.
Yeah. Well, they tried.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Went,
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah, if you watch Denver, they're a different team than they were earlier in the season. The defense actually is getting very good for Denver. They're playing good ball. But offensively, Peyton Manning, I don't know if it has anything to do with his neck surgeries or whatever. Also could have something to do with the cold weather, which we're going to see. Not only is it a cold time of year in Cincinnati, it's a night game.
Exactly.
So his pass is a little wobbly. They've always been a little bit wobbly. He doesn't have the arm.
Never had a tight spiral.
Yeah, but now they're going to more of a running game here, so that it's going to be a little tough for him to throw in this environment. But the running game's doing well for Denver. The running game does well for Cincy. I've never, let me ask you this. Denver's like fourth in the league in preventing sacks because Peyton Manning gets rid of the ball so quickly.
Right.
Cincinnati's like 31st in the league sacking the opposition. Now, normally you would look at that and you'll say, well, that would give the advantage to Denver. But since he doesn't get sacked very much anyway, I don't know if that's something that's going to come into effect in this game. It's something I always take a look at is if you're able to do that. But if you can't get to the quarterback and the quarterback doesn't get sacked anyway, what kind of a difference is that going to make? So that's the one advantage that Denver may have in this game.
Yeah, I looked and you brought it up about, you know, Peyton Manning. The last 2 weeks, whether it be by design or maybe there is a problem with Manning and they're kind of keeping it hush-hush, they've only thrown the football 20 and 22 times, and they haven't been using, you know, the hurry up, you know, the fast-paced tempo offense. They are like trying to shorten the games with them, and it's like, you know, are they just trying to get to the finish line, get to the playoffs and protect him? Because this is not the Denver Bronco offense that we're used to seeing. And that's a concern going on the road playing a team, Cincinnati, that at times this season has looked like one of the best teams in the AFC, and at times has looked garbage. I mean,
that's the NFL. I mean, we talk about it all the time. One team, you know, Philadelphia looks great. Next week they look terrible. That's the NFL. But I don't know what the reason for Denver doing it. I think it's smart for them to do it because when you go to the playoffs and you can't run the football and you've got to pass, you're at a severe disadvantage. I think Indy's going to be in that situation. But with the defense playing better, that gives them more of a chance to just grind out the game. The running game's playing better. Running games perform better in the playoffs, especially if you've got a quarterback that can make the plays. And we've seen it before, you know, with Peyton Manning, a future Hall of Famer. Cincinnati at home here, and hats off to you, Marco. I mean, I make fun of you a lot, and for good reason. But that Cincinnati against Cleveland last week, I mean, that was a complete blowout. And it wasn't, you know, Johnny Manziel's getting all the pub of being a terrible game. It was that run defense for Cleveland. Cincinnati just ran the ball down their throat the entire game, put Cleveland in a position where Manziel had to make plays. They're not going to win in that situation. That was a great call by you.
I appreciate that. Actually, Sunday, I sent out a tweet Sunday morning when the line got all the way. And I even said to you when we went out for Monday Night Football this week, I said, who was betting Cleveland that drove this line as much as it did? I mean, that line went from Cincinnati -1.5 to, I saw at some places, Cleveland as high as -2.5. You're talking about a 4-point move with a guy that's never started a game.
Well, what the concern was, and it's all in past tense now, the public was on Cleveland, obviously, but the public doesn't bet early in the week. And that line move, well, we did the videos, and then it was pick 'em, and then it went to 1.30 or 1.5 by the time I think we got home from the videos. Yeah. I think that just proved that I made a better discussion.
Yeah. The videos weren't posted till about 8 o'clock at night.
Didn't matter when
Yeah,
you looked at the
okay.
game afterwards. But Cincinnati is a team, as you pointed out, and they have not played well at home. They've been better on the road this year, but I think catching 3, they may see another 3.5 again by the time game goes off. I think Cincinnati's the only way I can look in this game.
Yeah, and to talk about this Denver defense for a minute, they've held 10 of their last 11 opponents to under 100 yards rushing. Now, a lot of times that's a little bit of a misleading stat when you're playing a team like Denver, because a lot of times they have such a big lead that teams have to just simply abandon the running game. But because their games have been playing close, and they had a couple games where they did lose, they went to New England, and got beat up, they still played well defensively against the run. That is the only concern I have with Cincinnati, is that if Cincinnati is not able to run the football like they were last week against Cleveland, although no way they're going to run it like that against Denver, but taking the running game away from Cincinnati puts so much pressure on Andy Dalton, and then you always have that elephant in the room with Andy Dalton. Big game, prime time, he seems like he never delivers in those situations. But I'm with you. I don't want any part of Denver in this game. It's Cincinnati or nothing, but you do have to hold your breath with Andy Dalton.
Yeah, you definitely do. And you talked about giving up the run, and they're just abandoning the run. And if people can tell by our shapes, I think we've given up the run a long time ago.
I can go up the middle. I'm good for a good 3-yard gain at the buffet line.
Yeah, you don't want to stand in front of you at the buffet line.
No, definitely not. All right. Brian says to take Cincinnati on Monday Night Football, take them plus the points. What more could you ask for? A Monday night atmosphere, playoff implications for Cincinnati. They're going to know what they're going to need to do, because obviously Pittsburgh and Baltimore play their games on Sunday. So they'll know if the Steelers and Baltimore both somehow lost, they got a little breathing room. If not, they need to win to keep where they're at, and look for them to have a big game. Crowd will be pumped up for the cameras and have Peyton coming to town. Let's go ahead and see if we get this one. Think they can pull it out outright?
Well, if the line's 3, if I didn't think they could pull it out outright. But this is a big game for Cincinnati. I don't think it matters what the other two teams do. In this division, it changes from one week to another, other than Cleveland, which is at the point now that they're out. Somebody wants this division, and somebody's got to go out and claim it.
There it is. All right. Hey, guys, it's Monday night, so don't forget, $2 Tuesday. Head on over to wagertalk.com. Every Tuesday, we're going to feature one of our cappers and give away his best bet for just $2. You can check that out on Tuesday morning, see who this week's featured capper is. All right, we're going to come right back. We got one more video. Usually we're done with the Monday night game, but we've got a bowl game on Tuesday night. That's up next. wagertalk.com.